To Zimmer Biomet Park Kisog here in Ennis for a crucial Group 2 Clare 2 Senior Football Championship match brought to you live here on Clare GA TV. My name is Peter O'Connell and delighted to be joined on co-commentary by Kieran Madigan. And Kieran, I suppose give us the context of this game between Ennistymon and Lissycasey.
Yeah, this Group 2 is everyone is still in it going into this last game. I suppose the easiest way to look at it is Ennistymon have to get a result here today. Depending on the other game, you've got Doonbeg against Kilmehel. If Doonbeg were to win that game, Doonbeg will leapfrog them. They'll go up to 3 points. But Kilmehel would also have Ennistymon on the head-to-head. So Ennistymon have to take care of their own business here today. They just have to get a result if they want to continue on in the championship this year.
We can see both teams going through a warm-up. Conditions quite warm, bit of a breeze, but I mean very, very good conditions overall in terms of playing championship football here in the county grounds.
Yeah, absolutely. No excuses there today. We watched the first game, very good game of football between Breckens and Milltown. Definitely, I suppose the Cloister in is the scoring goals, and particularly we suiting left-footed kickers. We saw Jamie Stack, Owen Cleary as well in the first half. They kicked some fabulous scores, and that breeze is kind of growing across towards the shed end and up towards the Cloister end. So yeah, definitely the team playing that way will be hoping to build a bit of a lead in the first half. But look, conditions absolutely perfect. The pitch looks fabulous, and it's not too hot. The sun isn't blaring, so there's no really excuses. I think ideal conditions for championship football.
It's often a point of conversation with management and coaches over teams if there is a breeze, whether to play with it, whether to play against it, and there is a reasonable breeze blowing towards the Cloister. We can see the white flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I suppose, look, I know teams probably would like to go and take the breeze and build up a bit of a lead. I'd prefer to go the other way. I'd like to have it in the second half, kind of keep things tight in the first half and know what you've got to do then in the second half. You saw that Milltown build up a good lead in the first game, but they were hanging on at the end. Breckens finished very strong, couple of 2-pointers, helped by the aid of the breeze as well. So I think it would be very important to have it in the second half, and as well scores will filter in from the other game as well, and you'll know what you've got to do. And if it was me, I prefer maybe to go against it to start with. It's not a huge wind that's going to make a massive difference, but try and keep it tight and use it then to your advantage in the second half.
Also important as well that when another game that's on simultaneously to to keep in touch with that, not let it necessarily dictate your approach here, but you still need to know what's happening elsewhere, don't you, in case score difference might come into it, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. So many things can happen today. Doonbeg are on 1 point. A win for them puts them on 3 points. Maybe a draw might do Ennistymon, which it would at that stage, because they would finish ahead of Doonbeg on the head-to-head. So, there's so many permutations, and definitely in the last 10 minutes, you can imagine, word will filter through, someone will shout in from the stand, or maybe the management might know, a draw will do us here, hold ball, or something like that. So it definitely, having the two games on at the same time, and, they'll definitely affect each other, because the same thing will be happening down in the other game as well between Doonbeg and Kilmehel. They'll be getting word of this game.
And just finally, Kieran, before we look at the teams, I mean, both teams will feel that they have something to prove, maybe something to work on from their last games. I mean, Lissycasey would feel they should have beaten Doonbeg, and Ennistymon, of course, beaten by Kilmehel.
Yeah, definitely. Lissycasey, very impressive first time out. The last day, they looked in control of that game against Doonbeg, and they looked maybe to be running down the clock, and Doonbeg, as they do, they didn't give in, and they got a late goal to get a draw in the game. So Lissycasey will be disappointed because they would have ensured their qualification, seen out that game, and now they have to do something today. So and they've had a few injuries along the way as well. So they have a point to prove today, but Ennistymon probably more so than anyone have a point to prove. They got a great result the first day out against Doonbeg, getting a win on the board. And look, it was the shock of the round in the last game. Kilmehel doing the business and putting up a big score against them. And Ennistymon will come out today. They've made 3 changes to the team that they played the last day. They'll be looking to prove a point. And they're a team that have been talked up a lot of having a good run in this championship, and they'll certainly be able to prove that today.
And as we take a look at the respective teams warming up here in Zimmer, Bymett, Park, Kisog, we'll just have a quick look at the starting 15s. So these are the 15 players that will start in both teams. They mightn't necessarily start in exactly the positions in which we call them out. But anyway, Lissycasey will have Thomas Collins in goals. Their full back line, Dara Hill, wearing 5 at full back, will be their captain, Ryan Griffin, and in the left corner, wearing 22, Michael Meany. At right half back, if he lines out here, is number 20, Mikey O'Neill. At centre back, Conor Meany, wearing 6, and wearing 7 is Dara Killeen. The likely Lissycasey midfield, Matt O'Shea, will be partnered by Darren Keane. Their half forward line, number 10, Luke Griffin. At centre forward, Dara Culligan, and wearing 12, Shane Griffin. And their inside line, Conor Finucane, wearing 13. At full forward, Diarmuid McMahon, and wearing 15, Aaron Griffin. So that's the Lissycasey starting team. Ennistymon will have Noel Sexton in goals, full back line of Joey Ruin, wearing 2, Derek Keneally at full back, and Sean O'Driscoll in the left corner. Their half back line, Kieran McMahon, will wear 5. At centre back, wearing 7 will be Killian Ruin, and wearing number 6 at left half back, Liam Cotter. The Ennistymon midfield, Brindy Ruin, wearing 13, will be joined by Owen Ruin. At the half forward line, Josh Geiler, Sean Ruin, and Tiernan Hogan, he's wearing 9, and their full forward line wearing 17, Keelan Geiler. At full forward, wearing number 10, Josh Vaughan, and Garrod Barry completes the full forward line, wearing number 22 for Ennistymon. And as you said, Kieran, Ennistymon making 3 changes in the last day.
Yeah, I think so. They were under serious pressure at midfield the last day. They certainly lost the midfield battle against Kilmehel, and bringing Josh Vaughan back into the starting 15 today, they'll be hoping to address that and get a lot more joy under the kickouts. It's just an area they really, really struggled at, and Lissycasey have been very, very strong there. Darren Keane came back into the team the last day, was very, very good, and Matt O'Shea has been playing excellent stuff in 2 games so far, and throw Shane Griffin into the mix, who helps out around there as well. They've got a lot of aerial power, so if Ennistymon are going to get anything out of the game today, they're certainly going to need to improve their stats on both kickouts.
And both of them fairly young teams as well, Kieran, and it's nice to see young teams, I suppose, getting to play inside here in Keswick Park, and let's see what they can do as we pause now for Oran Naveen and for a minute's silence. Very well observed minutes silence. And the referee today is Fergal O'Brien. So we'll pause now for Oran Naveen. So everything's set here in Zimmer Biomet Park Kisog for what hopefully will be an intriguing TUS Clare Senior Football Championship clash. We had a great game in the first in the first game here in Keswick Park, finishing in a draw between St. Joseph's Milltown and St. Brecons, and it was a particularly exciting last 10-15 minutes. And as we can see in the middle of the field, Lissycasey's number 8 is Matt O'Shea, and he's going to be contesting with Brindy Ruin for the throw in, and also playing at midfield for Lissycasey will be their number 12, Shane Griffin, as Fergal O'Brien now gets ready to throw the ball in and get this contest underway. So it goes up, and Matt O'Shea nearly had it, but Brindy Ruin picks it up and pops it straight away to his teammate. Advantage being played, great room forward there from the number 7 into, and it just drifted wide, and there was an opportunity there possibly for Owen Ruin, and it just shows the danger and the importance of winning the throw in. There's always that, teams are open at that stage, Kieran, aren't they? And you can go through the middle, and that's what Ennistymon did, but didn't get the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. It was all the Rowines in that one. Brindy broke the ball, and Killian came up, and as he's done for Clare all year, cut through the middle, and maybe he could have fisted the ball over the bar, but he was smelling a goal, and they had a great chance there. And look at they're on the ball again, and Liam Cotter with the ball.
So the referee Fergal O'Brien was playing advantage there, so that's why the free was given after Ennistymon missed that opportunity. So Ennistymon have the ball now, have possession with Josh Guyler. Josh Guyler pops it inside to Brindy Ruin. Brindy now looking around, showing a bit of patience, pops it off to his teammate wearing number 14, Josh Guyler again. And perhaps now an opportunity for Ennistymon momentarily. There was an opportunity for a shot, but they're recycling again and coming back deep, and Josh Vaughan has it now, and a shot there from distance, excellent shot, it has to be said, from the Ennistymon number 7, Killian Ruin, and he puts it straight over the bar, and that was a super opening point. And when you have that amount of possession, I suppose you want to finish with a score, as Ennistymon did.
Yeah, definitely. They showed great patience there, and Josh Vaughan, a big addition back in the team for them today, and he gave the final pass there, and a nice move, and good for them to get on the score early, because they have had all the possession and needed to show something for it.
Lissycasey went short with the kick out, and they're building nice now on the far side of the field. It's a opportunity here now for them to maybe kick a score. They're popping it around from distance, and a super block down there from Brindy Ruin, and that shot there from Dara Culligan, that was super blocked down, but Lissycasey have it back again, and they're popping it inside now to their inside forward, and Aaron Griffin has it inside, but he's being shadowed nicely, but turns, finds a bit of space to pick out the shot, and it drifts wide. And that was good defending there from Kieran McMahon, Kieran, because he stood up Aaron Griffin but didn't foul him, but made it difficult to get the shot in.
Yeah, Kieran McMahon, he's an excellent man marker. We saw it in the first game against Dunbeg. He did an excellent job on Dara Burns, and he's going to have a tough job on his hands today, shadowing Aaron Griffin. Aaron Griffin's had a fantastic year for club and county. He's probably in the form of his life, and if they're going to win today, they're going to have to keep him quiet.
You mentioned at the start, Josh Vaughan catching ball in the middle of the field. That's exactly what he did. That was super there from Vaughan, it has to be said. Owen Ruin now breaking forward. Ennistymon trying to play with real purpose. Tiernan Hogan wearing 19 spreads it to the far side of the field to Liam Cotter. Cotter overcarries, according to Fergal O'Brien. And if we're going to compliment Ennistymon for defending at one side, we have to compliment Lissycasey on this occasion for forcing the overcarry. Yeah,
absolutely. They stood him up, they left him with nothing to do, and yeah, he just about maybe overcarried, and very, very good defending from Lissycasey. And look, the Conor Meany back in the team after going back off injured the last day, which probably played a big part in them not being able to see out the game against Dunbeg. So having him back would give them loads of confidence.
And he's given it to Dara Colleen, and Lissycasey now playing, spreading it around a bit. Mikey O'Neill has it. Experienced man from Kinmaley. Mikey goes route 1, drops it in, is going to break for Lissycasey man. Excellent defending there from Joey Ruin, and really good cornerback play, because he read that break so well. And now Ennistymon are trying to break out with it with Killian Ruin. They're recycling a bit now, back as far as Joey Ruin, or back as far as Derek Keneally, I should say, and he pops it off to Sean O'Driscoll, an experienced cornerback. in the Ennistymon 15. Ennistymon wearing all black and Lissycasey wearing all maroon. So let's see what's going to happen here. Ennistymon now have a bit of possession. O'Driscoll pops it as far as Keneally. Keneally gives it to their number 13 on the far side of the field, Brindy Ruin, playing midfield, wearing 13 but playing in the middle of the field. Ennistymon now trying to inject a bit of pace into this attack, and their right half back, Kieran McMahon, has it. He gives it back as far as the number 14, Josh Guyler. He's wearing 14 but he's playing wing forward. Killian Ruin has it again. Ennistymon now sustaining possession well. Now can they get the shot in at the end of all of this? They're still trying to. Keelan Guyler is recycling, linking up there with Josh Guyler. Back as far as Josh Faughan. Faughan is wearing number 10. Ennistymon, I suppose, playing a patient game, waiting for the right time to get the shot in. Brindy Ruin has it now, and he transfers it to Keelan Guyler. Keelan Guyler looks around. The direct ball isn't on. Ennistymon have Tiernan I'm trying to work out who it is. I think it might be Tiernan Hogan stationed on the inside, or is it? Yeah, Tiernan Hogan stationed inside full forward. But they're not letting much direct ball in as of yet, at least, Kieran.
No, but they're using the full width of the field, and just as we say that, Josh Guyler has a shot from just outside the arc, and it drifts to the right and wide.
So I suppose that sustained period of possession finished, and it's a great kick out. It's a super kick out from Thomas Collins. Brilliant from Collins, and he found Darren Keane. Darren Keane bangs it forward as far as the Lissycasey forward, Diarmuid McMahon. McMahon transfers it inside, and that's to Aaron Griffin. Griffin now taking on his man and gets the shot in, and that is a super point. And Kieran, like, it's very easy to, I suppose, overanalyze it from up here, but Ennistymon had the ball maybe for 90 seconds. No direct ball in, 3 kicks, and Lissycasey banged the ball over the bar.
Yeah, and that's the confidence that Lissycasey have in the forwards that they have in there. They're all able to score. You know, Diarmuid McMahon, Conor Fanuk, and Aaron Griffin, as we said. Aaron Griffin will be out in front all day, and he has the confidence to shoot. They're all well able to score, and Ennistymon probably taking a little bit too much out of the ball, going over and back across the field. And as you said, when Lissycasey got it, they went direct. They hit their talisman and Aaron Griffin, and a super score.
Referee Fergal O'Brien says he's going to throw the ball in. There was a few players contesting for that, but the ball wasn't going anywhere, so he's going to throw it in. There's about 4 or 5 lads lined up. So referee Fergal O'Brien spots a push in the back there, says it's a free to Ennistymon up for the solo and go. And they're bursting forward now with Owen Ruin. Ruin gives it to Tiernan Hogan. Back now with their number 6, who's Liam Cotter. Cotter recycles to Brindy Ruin. About 8 minutes gone here, nearly 8 minutes gone here in Zimmer by Met Park, Kissogue. And of course this stream brought to you live on Clare GA TV, and Clare GA TV's broadcast partner is Stream Sports. Great opportunity now for Ennistymon. Great run and an excellent shot straight over the bar, and that was their number 7, Killian Ruin, and that's his second point from play.
Yeah, that was a super score. He burst through the middle. He's done that a couple of times already. I think that he might even had a goal on his mind, and Josh Guyler was peeling off him on the left hand side as well, but he had the confidence to go for it. Good score, you know, keeps the scoreboard ticking for them, and they need it for all the possession they've had. They need to be keeping the scoreboard moving.
So Lissycasey know that they need to do something here to kind of respond to that. Mikey O'Neill must have been close enough there, possibly to over-carrying, but gives it off to Diarmuid McMahon. He's far from goal. He pops it back to Mikey. Mikey spreads the play to the far side of the field. So let's see what Lissycasey are going to do now with Derek Killeen. And Lissycasey man is free. It's a great ball through to Luke Griffin. Can Griffin now find the angle to get the shot in? He gives it back towards the arc. So Lissycasey now trying to get a kicker on the ball, and well, definitely Diarmuid McMahon is, generally speaking, an excellent kicker, but that finished in a wide, and they'll be, I suppose, a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that. He's the man you'd want on the end of it, and he actually gave a fantastic through ball there as well to Luke Griffin. You know, he's a brilliant passer of the ball. They've changed their shape a little bit from the last two games. They had Aaron Griffin playing kind of in a centre forward role and Diarmuid McMahon out, but they've kind of switched that today. Aaron is in closer to goal, and Diarmuid McMahon is kind of out around the 40 in more of a playmaker role so far anyway.
Lissycasey break the ball in the middle of the field, but it's very well read there by Derek Keneally, and Keneally pops it off to Vaughan. Ennistymon now have a small bit of space in front of him. Brindy Ruin has it. Brindy pops it off to Liam Cotter. Cotter gives it back as far as their number 19, who's Sean Ruin, and Sean Ruin now gets it in, and it's a good shot, great shot, and a great point there from the Ennistymon number 9, and their number 9 is Tiernan Hogan. So excellent score there from Tiernan Hogan.
Yeah, excellent score from Tiernan Hogan. The one time they kind of gave a direct ball in, it was Liam Cotter. He spotted the run from Tiernan Hogan, gave him a beautiful ball in over the top, and on the turn, Tiernan put it over the bar. Look, fantastic scoring, and Ennistymon well capable of that. If they put in a little bit direct ball and speed it up, they're well capable of getting these scores.
So a 2-point lead now for Ennistymon, leading Lissycasey by 3 points to 1. Fergal O'Brien, I thought, had his back turned to it, but he obviously mustn't have had, because he did see that the ball was touched on the ground. And those small little mistakes are just so frustrating, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You know, after all the hard work they had to win the ball and then to give away a soft free like that. And you know, once Ennistymon get the ball, it's very hard to take possession back off them. They like to hold on to it for large periods of time, and they're making Lissycasey work very hard so far.
Do you think Lissycasey should be pushing out maybe 10 yards further? That they're up to this point, they're kind of allowing Ennistymon to do what Ennistymon like to do.
Yeah, Ennistymon are going from the midfield here. They're going from one sideline to the other, nice and patient, and yeah, they're being allowed to do that so far. But I think Lissycasey are just kind of conscious of that. Ennistymon don't seem to have the 2-point shooters so far in the championship, so they're happy enough to let them have the ball out there and maybe protect the space inside in front of goal.
So let's see what's going to happen here now. Ennistymon trying to build something from just outside the arc. Brindy Ruin pops it off as far as Josh Vaughan. Vaughan gives it inside to their number 17, who's Keelan Guyler. Possible chance here now for Ennistymon to get another shot in. The chance is definitely there, but it drifts just wide, and that was from Keelan Guyler. It was a decent enough opportunity. The breeze, it has to be said, is with Lissycasey, Kieran. It's not a hugely significant breeze, but it's a bit of a help.
No, it's not, but the way the breeze is blowing, you know, you have to be going for that right-hand post down at the LD end. You know, it's criminal really to be putting it wide at the far post. You're never giving it a chance. But look, they are creating lots of chances. They just will be a little bit disappointed they haven't maybe 2 or 3 more points on the board for all the possession and all the opportunities they've had in the Lissycasey scoring zone.
And Thomas Collins lands the ball in the middle of the field. It was caught by Luke Griffin. Luke Griffin thought he was away there for a second, but Fergal O'Brien had spotted a free for Lissycasey and just blew the whistle as the Lissycasey man was catching the ball. So it's going to be a free to Lissycasey, right on the halfway line, right where the breach line, if we can call it that, is located. So the free is taken short, and Lissycasey now will try to build something from here. Ennistymon are well set up looking defensively, it has to be said. So let's see what Lissycasey can do here. Diarmuid McMahon switches the ball to the stand side in Kesey Park, gives it to Dara Killeen. Killeen now taking on his Ennistymon opponents. Bit of space here now for Diarmuid McMahon. McMahon pops it off. As far as Conor Finucane, Lissycasey recycling. Now Mikey O'Neill spots a bit of space, takes it on. Good run from O'Neill, but is he going to go into the tackle? Great pass from O'Neill to McMahon. McMahon is in, and that's a super point from McMahon, all made by Mikey O'Neill.
That was brilliant stuff from Mikey O'Neill. I thought Shane Griffin had peeled off the shoulder there. I thought he maybe had played him in, but he spotted the run from Diarmuid McMahon. A brilliant pass, and you know, he showed great strength to break the tackle. Found Diarmuid, and Diarmuid finished with it. And you know, Lissycasey only 1 point down, considering the possession that Ennistymon have enjoyed so far. I think Lissycasey would be very, very happy with that. You know, playing a little bit against the elements. You know, albeit that they're not that strong.
So the latest kick out now from Noel Sexton lands in the middle of the field, and Lissycasey win this one with Dara Culligan. Culligan now breaking forward. Great run from Culligan, taking on Dara Keneally. Now can Lissycasey get the shot in? There's a reasonable enough angle there, and the umpire is looking interested, but the shot from Aaron Griffin ultimately drifts wide, and the scoreline remains after 14 minutes Ennistymon leading Lissycasey by 3 points to Lissycasey's 2. And there's, I suppose, to an extent, Kieran, both teams still kind of feeling their way into the game.
Yeah, they are. Look, Lissycasey, they're being forced to shoot from difficult positions, which is good defending from Ennistymon. Aaron Griffin's had a couple of chances, 3 wides on the board now for Lissycasey, but all from good pressure from Ennistymon and just forcing them to shoot from very, very difficult positions.
Ennistymon win the latest kick out there from Noel Sexton, but they're under a bit of pressure. Lissycasey definitely putting on a bit of heat on Ennistymon as they tried to come out with the ball, but Joe Irwin now is in a good position, but his ball forward is not a bad one, in fact, as it turned out, to Owen Irwin. Owen Irwin has it now and gives it back as far as the Ennistymon number 14, Josh Guyler. Guyler pops it off to Liam Cotter. Cotter gives it to Vaughan, Josh Vaughan. Josh Vaughan gives it back to Guyler, and Ennistymon building here again, building patiently. They're well able to do this, and I suppose there's just that decision then for Lissycasey. Do they push up, or what do they do? Or do they, if you push up, then you do leave gaps in behind, and I suppose there's that risk as well, Kieran.
Yeah, I think they're conscious of that, but they do seem to have kind of pushed out as far as the 45 as we look at it, and it's a great opportunity for Brendy Irwine, and he puts the ball over the bar.
Magnificent point.
Fantastic score from Brendy. And look, Brendy is kind of playing all over the place. He'd been sitting back in front of Aaron Griffin, and then he comes up and he finishes up on the end of the move and puts the ball over the bar, and he's having a very good performance so far.
Matt O'Shea now nicely found there by Thomas Collins from that kick out, gives it to Mikey O'Neill. Mikey O'Neill is getting on a lot of direct ball in from Mikey, but you'd love to be playing in the full back line and come out with a ball like that. That was super defending there, a super reading of the play, it has to be said, from the Ennistymon man, and the Ennistymon man who caught that ball was Derek Keneally. But Ennistymon have subsequently lost possession, and it's going to be a line ball to Lissycasey, and it's going to be taken by Conor Finucane. So Finucane now, nice direct ball forward into Aaron Griffin. Griffin now trying to take on Kieran McMahon back, and the shot is on, and it was a really for a second there it didn't look as if it was going over the bar, but it did go over the bar, and it was a decent shot there from Michael Meany, wearing number 22. And Lissycasey will be quite content with that, especially given that Ennistymon had possession. Yeah,
Ennistymon were attacking. Great catch from Derek Keneally, came down the field, played the ball in, and Garrod Barry trying to palm it into the hands of Josh Guyler, and they got their signals mixed up, and a line ball to Lissycasey. Brilliant outside of football from Conor Finucane, found Aaron Griffin, and he found Michael Meany making the run. And look, a lovely score for Lissycasey, and they seem to have settled now.
I know, an absolutely magnificent run here from Killian Ruin. Ruin is in, pops it to the kicker, playing advantage. It goes wide eventually, but it's going to be a free in for Ennistymon, because it was quite clear Fergal O'Brien had his hand up, was playing advantage. And just, I suppose, the importance, Kieran, and we saw it there with Mikey O'Neill for a Lissycasey score a few minutes ago, that when a player like Brindy Ruin, players of that ilk, break the tackle, Killian Ruin as well, when they break the tackle and get into that space, it causes chaos.
Yeah, that's probably the 4th time in the game so far Killian Ruin has burst through the middle, and there's nothing fancy about it. It's just direct running at pace, and the defence seems to open up in front of him, and this time he didn't take on the shot himself. He laid it off. He laid off the ball to Garrod Barry, and obviously the advantage was there, so he was well worth a shot, and they didn't score, and they're coming back for a free. But if Killian Ruin can keep doing that, he's causing serious trouble in the heart of the Lissycasey defence.
And Brindy Ruin now takes this free from the 21-yard line. Should be fairly straightforward. That's exactly what it is. It's a 2-point game after just over 18 minutes. Ennistymon leading Lissycasey by 5 points to Lissycasey's 3. Thomas Collins plants the ball down nice and quickly, looks and tries to work out who he's going to kick it to. Try to find Matt O'Shea, but it breaks nicely there for Derek Culligan. Culligan has a bit of space now, and he's showing plenty pace, plenty ball control, and this is good now from Lissycasey. And can they get the shot over the bar? Indeed they can. That's an excellent score, nicely worked, and Lissycasey's fourth point, and it was worked really well from the kick out. Diarmuid McMahon finishing it nice and simple.
Yeah, look, he's a very, very classy player. Very good finisher. He scored 4 points the last day against Dunbeg. All came from a fantastic kick out from Thomas Collins. And while Ennistymon are doing better in midfield today, Lissycasey still have 100% on their own kick out, and Thomas Collins is finding his man every time. And they found Matt Shea there, gave it to Luke Griffin, Diarmuid McMahon on the end of it, and a super finish. You know, a really, really nice score.
Nice and tight back in West Clare after 15 minutes. Between Kilmahill and Dunbeg, a point each, Kieran.
Yeah, that one you'd imagine is going to go down all the way. The two rivals, two neighbours, they know all about each other. You'd expect that to be a very, very tight game. And, you know, Kilmahill coming into now on a bit of momentum after a fantastic result the last day, so I expect that to be a great game.
Derek Hulligan holding onto the ball, gives it to Dara Killeen. Killeen soloing now, looking for someone, finds Mikey O'Neill. Mikey pops it off. And couple of Lissycasey players. Shane Griffin has it now, and he's trying to pivot a bit, trying to make a bit of space. Finds Conor Finucane. Is the shot on for Finucane? Is it on? Yes, it is, and it's a 2-pointer. Super 2-pointer there from Conor Finucane, and suddenly Lissycasey go from being a point down to a point up, leading by 6 points to 5, and 2-pointer. When you have that in your arsenal, great to get a player like Conor Finucane on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and a couple of players involved in the move that had been quite so far in the game. Shane Griffin, Darren Keane, fantastic players, just hadn't seen a lot of ball so far. Released Conor Finucane, and, you know, he only had one thing in his mind, and it was an absolutely super finish, and 2-pointers are huge in this game.
Liam Cotter eventually won that break. Lissycasey thought they had it, nearly had it. Killian Ruin breaking forward again now. Good from Ruin, taking on Matt O'Shea. But great defending, I thought, initially from O'Shea. But the Ennistymon man, Killian Ruin, goes to ground, and it probably was a free. But you'd be a bit disappointed, you know, if it was given against you.
Yeah, borderline, really, to be honest. You know, but I suppose when he's coming at you at pace, the slightest little touch, and, you know, when he goes down like that, the referee will always kind of maybe favour the attacker there. And, you know, a vital free for them now to keep the scoreboard ticking.
So Brindy Ruin, a couple of minutes after putting over a free, a bit closer in. Stands up to this one. It's as you can see on the ground, so this one, if it goes over, it will equalise the game after 21 and a half minutes. Dunbeg now leading Kilmahill by 3 points to 1, and Brindy does put that over the bar, so it's level here in Zimmer, Biomet, Park, Kissogue, and back in West Clare, Dunbeg leading Kilmahill by 3 points to 1. So a 2-point lead in a game like that, it mightn't seem much, Kieran, but, you know, it could be, it might be, you know, that maybe a point or two is maybe what could divide them at the end of the game, both here and back in Cork.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw the value of the 2-pointer here to give Lissycasey the lead, and we know the value of the players like Kieran Downs for Kilmahill. If Dunbeg can shut down that 2-point option, you know, look what he scored the last day. He scored 12 points in the previous round, so they're going to be looking to get him on the ball as much as possible. And yeah, you know, both games, you know, this group is wide open. Anyone can still go through, and anyone could be in the relegation at the end of this. So look, plenty of time and a long way to go yet.
Mike O'Neill gives it to Matt O'Shea, two experienced Lissycasey men. They've seen it all, they've done it all for their club. Lissycasey popping the ball around now in the middle third. Mike O'Neill picks it up with the second attempt and gives it to Conor Finucane. Conor Finucane was looking for the ball. He's taken on Ennistymon. He's going to have a shot from an absolutely savage distance straight over the bar. And another 2-pointer. He goes to ground. There was a small bit of a tip, nothing serious, but what a 2-pointer, Kieran. And I mean, it was worth coming into Keswick Park to see a score of that quality.
You know, that's the thing about the new rules, Peter. It gives quality forwards like this the option to showcase their long-range shooting ability. Conor Finucane, a fantastic 2-pointer, a carbon copy of his first one, maybe a little bit further out. I think he's maybe just breaking the play there. I don't think there was a whole amount in that. I know Joey Ryan kind of came across him, but I don't think there was much in it really.
It was very minor.
Yeah, I thought so.
Maybe there was no need for Joey to bump into him either, but at the same time, it wasn't anything major. And we shouldn't take away from the quality of those 2 pointers.
No,
brilliant.
Absolutely a fantastic Conor Finucane, and Conor, didn't and he's actually picked up a yellow card himself for some reason as well. But the last day he wasn't in the game as much. I think he only scored a point in the previous round against Dunbeg, but he's shown his quality. He's been with the county team as well. 4 points on the board, 2 fantastic 2 pointers, and look, we've got some quality forwards on show today, and hopefully we're going to see a lot more real high quality scores.
So Noel Sexton now is sizing up this one. He's looking around. Is he just going to bang it down the middle? That's what he does. Bangs it down the middle, and superbly caught there by Owen. Brilliant. A scenario like that. No, he didn't call the mark. You have to call the mark, Kieran, don't you? In order to get it. So maybe he could have in his time now spilled possession, and Lissycasey, as you can hear from the crowd, break forward. Lovely disguise pass in as far as Aaron Griffin. Griffin doesn't control it immediately, and Ennistymon swarm around him. But Lissycasey recycle back as far as Finucane. He's hardly going to have another prop. It would have had to be off his left that time if he did. Arden Griffin has it now. Griffin gives it back as far as Conor Meany. Lissycasey now exerting a small bit of control on the game, popping it around. Ennistymon well able to do that as well, and have done that on occasion. So let's see now, can Lissycasey find a space on the far side of the field to get the shot in? They do exactly that, and it's a super score from Dara Culligan, a 1 pointer, and it puts Lissycasey into a 3-point lead. And the shooting that we've seen the last 4 or 5 minutes from Lissycasey, top class.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lissycasey have some real quality forwards who are all capable of kicking scores. Aaron Griffin is inside there, and he's having a real battle with Kieran McMahon. And but look out the field. Then you've got Conor Finucane, you've got Diarmuid McMahon, you've got Dara Culligan, all players capable of getting scores, as well as Shane Griffin and Conor Meany as well. They've got scoring options all over the field, and there's Aaron Griffin on the ball again.
Griffin now breaking forward at pace. He's taking on Ennistymon's Kieran McMahon, trying to get past him. Doesn't get past him. Good from McMahon, but eventually the Lissycasey man lost it, won it back. Can't get the shot in, Arden Griffin, but recycles, holds on to the ball. Lissycasey decide to switch it to this side of the field where there's a bit of space. Matt O'Shea has it, gives it back to Mike O'Neill. Mike O'Neill's been very, very busy. Every time he gets the ball, you're always confident he's not going to give it away too easy, showing his experience. Dara Killeen has it now for Lissycasey. Lissycasey making sure that they don't kick, I suppose, at the inopportune time. But then when the chance or the opportunity comes to kick, they do have some very, very good kickers, and they've shown that. Shane Griffin now taking on Ennistymon. Is going to link up here with Conor Finucane. He does. Finucane off his left on this occasion. My God, he's giving an absolute exhibition. This is brilliant, Kieran.
This is absolutely outstanding. It's worth the entrance fee alone to come in and watch these 2 pointers. 3 2-pointers, every one of them as good as the last. I think that might even have been the best one. That was off his left foot. Absolutely. And they showed patience. They went over and back across the field. They tried to see could Aaron Griffin get free, could Diarmuid McMahon get free, and then they didn't. They came back to Conor Finucane, and absolute quality. His third 2-pointer of the game, 6 points on the board for him.
And Lissycasey win the break off the kick out of Noel Sexton's kick out in the middle of the field. Bit of space in here now for Diarmuid McMahon. McMahon gives it to Darren Keane. Keane taking on Ennistymon, bangs it over the bar, and suddenly it's a 6-point game. Lissycasey 12, Ennistymon 6. It seems as if it's all happened in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, they were slow to settle in the game, but they're well on top now in the last 10 minutes. 6 different scorers on the board. Darren Keane coming into the game in the last 10 minutes. He's been involved in a couple of the scores that Conor Finucane got and showed his own quality there. Had been injured for the first game, came into the team the last day. County quality, of course. And look at a fantastic burst through the middle and a beautiful score.
And I think Sean O'Driscoll is coming over, possibly. I thought he was coming over there to mark Conor Finucane. Ennistymon win this latest kick out now, the ball breaking, and they won the break eventually. So let's see now. Sean Ruin switches it to the far side of the field. Ennistymon know they've got to get something before half time. There's 2 minutes to half time, maybe a minute or two of injury time, but they need to get a score to wrestle back some of that momentum. And no better man to do that if he can than Brindy Ruin. Brindy now on the ball, goes to ground, referee playing advantage, and Brindy decides, I'll take the free.
Yeah,
and,
I think
got to tap him to head.
A little bit, yeah, and it is a free, and he had the advantage, but he couldn't get the shot off. I think they need to get a score just to settle things down. They've had an awful lot of possession, but it's all been around the middle third of the field. They haven't been able to create chances in the last 10 minutes since Lissycasey got their purple patch. And, you know, while they had an awful lot of possession, they didn't get a whole lot out of it. And they're playing with the wind, but you know, Lissycasey have had the win. They're taking advantage of it. They've got a good score up, but Ennistymon need to get a score on the board now just to settle things down and give them maybe some little bit of confidence heading in towards half time.
Killian Ruin has the ball in his hand. He's already put over 2 points in play. Brindy on the ground, getting a bit of attention. So we'll see, is it Killian's going to take this free off the ground? I think it is. And like, not a huge difference between a 6 and a 5 point lead at half time, but still a psychological thing of if you get you know, they've been struggling for the last 5 or 6 minutes in Ennistymon, and if it does turn out to be the last scorer of the first half, at least you bring something into the dressing room as we watch this super shot straight over the bar. Excellent score there from Killian Ruin, and it's now a 5 point game. Lissycasey 12, Ennistymon 5, and it's now a 2 point game in Clare. Dunbeg leading Kilmahel by 6 points to 1-1. Thanks to Paddy Carmody there for the update. He's keeping an eye on things. Paddy's had a busy weekend. He was co-commentating on the match before this here in Zimmer Bymet Park Kisog, and of course he was doing umpire yesterday. As in his time now, break forward, can they maybe bang over another score just before half time? And for a second there I thought it was going to be I thought it might spill, but it was good goalkeeping there from Thomas Collins, but the referee Fergal O'Brien was playing advantage. I think it's going to be free into Ennistymon. Yeah,
and you know, this is an opportunity for Ennistymon to get another score on the board and maybe, you know, bring it back to 4 points heading into the dressing room at half time. No, it's actually about a sideline ball. It looks like it's a free, all right.
So a free from well outside. So Ennistymon now will know that, you know, there's not too much left, but there's a half a minute gone in injury time, as you can see. So they'll know that eventually they're going to have to get the shot off. Great, excellent direct running there from Owen Ruin. Really good stuff from Ruin. Josh Geiler has it. Geiler now taking on Lissycasey. Can he get the shot in? Gives it back as far as Gerard Barry. Barry recycles. And let's see now what Liam Cotter is going to do. He gives it to Josh Vaughan. Lissycasey well set up. They've one free player, but super defending there from Lissycasey's Connor Meany, and Lissycasey now might be able to hit Ennistymon on the break. Referee playing advantage. Lissycasey have numbers here. If they can find the runners on the far side of the field, that's exactly what they do. And now, great opportunity here for Lissycasey maybe to put over a final score of the first half, but that was a good run, and unfortunately the shot at the end of it didn't quite match the run from Derek Culligan. And again, the new rules, Kieran, as you well know, just if you hit a team on the break, there's going to be space. Yeah,
look, a fantastic interception from Conor Meany, you know, brilliant tackle. What I liked there in the middle of the field was Luke Griffin got the ball through a dummy and the space opened up for him. You know, suddenly the whole thing was open. He found Diarmuid McMahon. Probably should have been a score. They'll be a little bit disappointed with it, but it was a fantastic piece of attacking play from Lissycasey, showing their quality.
Exactly, 2 minutes of injury time played. It's half time. It's a 5 point game. Lissycasey leading Ennistymon by 12 points to 7 as Fergal O'Brien calls a halt to the first half. And at the end of the second half, Kieran, you have to think about selecting a player of the match. And of course, we have to look on it as an hour-long game, not a half. It's not a half-hour game, but it's going to take some performance to top Conor Finucane's 3 2-pointers.
Absolutely, you know, you've had a couple of good performances from Ennistymon. Killian O'Ryan has looked impressive. Josh Vaughan started very, very well, has maybe faded a little bit. Conor Finucane, as you said, 3 superb 2-pointers, absolutely brilliant. Diarmuid McMahon on a lot of ball, playing very, very well. And Derek Culligan came into the game as well as the half wore on. So look, a lot of good performances on the Lissycasey team so far, but certainly the man with 6 points on the board and 3 superb 2-pointers would be the man in pole position at the moment, I think, Anir.
So 12 points to 7 here in Keswick Park. Lots of great scores, some very good open football, some I suppose moments or minutes at times of possession football as well. Back west, it sounds a bit tighter. 6 points to 1-1.
Yeah, but you'd expect that. You wouldn't expect too much between those two teams. They'll both keep it tight. They'll press hard. They'll be trying to obviously Doonbeg will be trying to keep Kieran Downs and Marty O'Leary quiet. And on the other side, then you've got a couple of players like Mikey Tuberty, who's enjoying a brilliant season for Doonbeg, and Dara Burns. I think is due a big game. Hasn't really hit the heights of last year and his county form from earlier in the year so far. And obviously then you've got the superb David Tuberty still there in the mix as well. So that one is going to go down to the wire. I don't expect a huge amount in it, and it could take maybe a moment of magic and maybe a 2-pointer to see whoever over the line.
So you've heard enough from myself and Kieran for a while, so we'll let you get a cup of tea and we'll come back in a few minutes for the second half here from Zimmer Biomet Park.
Gerard Feeney Hearing Limited. Saffron and Bloom Medical Centre, Clare Abbey, Ennis, County Clare. Telephone 087 299 6749. Largest selection of digital hearing aids available. Appointment necessary. One of Ireland's oldest family-run pubs, Fanny O'Dee's, established 1790. Pub and Garden Cafe Bar, Lissycasey, County Clare. 065 683 4143. Serving a delicious summer menu in our spacious dining room and award-winning beer garden. Remember, it's unlucky to pass Fanny O'Dee's.
TV's broadcast partner is Stream Sports. Great opportunity now for Ennistymon. Great run. And, Sean Marino gets it in, and it's a good shot. Great shot. Great point there. Spots for the space. Takes it on. Great pass on into McMahon. McMahon is in, and that's it.
I think they're trying to do so. They're kind of pushed out the third and fourth as we look at it, and it's a great opportunity for
trying to back and the shot is on. Really fairly over the bar. Needed Finucane, is it on? Yes, it is. Shot from an absolutely savage distance, straight off. So let's see now, can Lissycasey find a space on the far side of the field to get the shot in? They do exactly that. Ennistymon is going to link up here with Conor Finucane. He does. Finucane off his left on this occasion. My God, here now for Dermot McMahon. McMahon gives it to Darren Keane. Keane taking on Ennistymon, bangs it over the bar, and it's done something into the dressing room as we watch this super shot straight over the bar. Boyme Park Kisog. The second half, a few seconds from beginning, from getting underway, Ennistymon already out. As you can see, the half-time score, Lissycasey leading Ennistymon by 12 points to 7. And Kieran, looking at it in the overall context of the group, at half-time in Clare between Doonbeg and Kilmahel, Doonbeg have a 6-point lead.
Yeah, so as the group stands now, Ennistymon are in 4th place and facing into the relegation playoff. So they'll know that at half-time in the dressing room that word will have got through. So they'll know they have to come out and put in a performance. They can't affect what's happening in the other game. They need to turn this game around here, and they need to get a result if they're going to stay in the championship and not to be facing into relegation.
And is it as simple as this, Kieran, when you're in a position like that where you know you just have to go for it, you have to win? Do they change the way they play and go a bit more direct? To do with the breeze, and the breeze, you know, as we saw there with Conor Finucane, definitely a big help. But do they have a player to bang over a few 2-pointers?
So far in the championship they haven't shown that, but they've certainly got forwards that are capable of kicking scores. Throw in the fact of Killian Rowan's direct running as well. You know, all those forwards, Tiernan Hogan, Keelan Guyler, Josh Guyler, Garrow Barry, they're all capable of kicking scores, as well as Brendy Rowan himself. And Brendy can kick 2-pointers as well, but they just have a reluctance to do that. Their game plan is slow and patient and working the ball into maybe 25, 30 yards out before they'll take the shot. But I think, you know, if they're going to progress, I think they're going to probably have to create a goal scoring opportunity. They've certainly created a couple with Killian's direct running, and they got maybe just cleared the crossbar just barely, but they're going to have to show more of that in the second half. They're going to have to be a little bit more adventurous than they've shown so far, and they're just going to have to go for it now.
Fergal O'Brien throws it in between Shane Griffin and Brendy Rowan, and Shane Griffin goes to ground. He was definitely how would I phrase this, tackled on the back, I suppose, and Lissycasey take the free quickly, and Conor Meany has it now on the far side, and he gives it back to Mikey O'Neill. And Mikey reminds me of the likes of someone like Pirlo or something like that. Just, you know, always looks as if he has a bit of time on the ball and doesn't panic. And now he's actually taken on 2 or 3 Ennistymon players and nearly lost possession. And in fact, Lissycasey did lose possession. So Mikey kind of Pirlo moments up in smoke, Kieran.
You know, I don't know, was it Mikey's fault in fairness either? You know, he's very strong in possession, and he likes to maybe do a little bit of direct run, and he loves to break the tackle. He certainly seems to love the physical contact as well. But you know, if you were Lissycasey, you know, you'll be looking to maybe just settle down and maybe kick the first score of the second half and keep things taking over and force Ennistymon into changing their style of play and going a lot more adventurous.
Derek Keneally now taking on Ennistymon, pops it off as far as Ennistymon's Tiernan Hogan. Now can Ennistymon make an incision here through the heart of the Lissycasey defence? Liam Cotter pops it, and the shot is taken eventually by Sean Ruin, and it's a super score. It's a 1-pointer, but a nice boost, and that's 2 in a row now for Ennistymon, because they got the last score of the second half as well, or the first half as well. So they've reduced that 6-point deficit to 4.
Yeah, very important for them to get the first score of the second half, and it was a very, very nice score, and it wasn't far off being a 2-pointer as well. Sean Ryan taking on the mantle and having a shot, and they need to do a lot more of that now in the second half, because they have forwards who are capable of scoring, and you know, they need to maybe just close the gap a little bit, but stay patient as well. You know, they don't need to go hell for leather yet. There's plenty of time to go.
Dara Hill was under a bit of pressure there. Of course, he couldn't give it back to the goalkeeper, but he got it away as far as Ryan Griffin, and Lissycasey have it now with Matt O'Shea in the middle of the field, and a bit of space here now for Shane Griffin. And Griffin bursts forward, links up with Darren Keane. Darren Keane wearing 9 gives it to Matt O'Shea wearing 8, and Lissycasey having a small sustained period of possession. Ryan Griffin under a bit of pressure gives it back to O'Shea. O'Shea pops it off, and Lissycasey now might well switch it here to the far side of the field where Derek Killeen is free. Matt O'Shea runs all the way over to Killeen, pops it off to him. In fact, it was Conor Meany who popped it off. Lissycasey now go a bit more direct with Diarmuid McMahon. McMahon gives it inside to Aaron Griffin. Griffin wearing 15 gives it back as far as the Lissycasey forward, Dara Culligan. Culligan now taking on Derek Keneally. Gives it back as far as Mikey O'Neill. Mikey looks for a teammate on the far side of the field, and he finds Darren Keane over there. Lissycasey do eventually lose possession. That was good there, it has to be said, from Josh Vaughan wearing 10, but Ennistymon undo all that work by losing it. Ennistymon now out of shape a small bit defensively, and Lissycasey breaking forward with Darren Keane. And it would be a great tonic for Lissycasey if Shane Griffin can put this over the bar. He takes on Cotter. Great run! The shot, it's blocked. Maybe might have been better off going for the point. In Ennistymon, man, it looked as if he dived in the ball, but the referee was much closer than I am. And there's a Ennistymon man on the ground. Lissycasey man gingerly getting off the ground as well. The referee says play on. No head injuries or anything like that. And eventually Matt O'Shea gives away a free, and you can see there's a good increase in. There was some great scores in the first half, Kieran, but there's a bit of an increase in intensity and tackling at the start of the second.
Definitely the tempo has been raised. You know, Darren Keane had the ball, he got turned over, but he came back and he won the ball back again. Shane Griffin got through on goal. Probably was a goal scoring opportunity there, but maybe the wisest thing would have been to fist the ball over the bar and just keep that scoreboard ticking over.
Derek Killeen pops it inside, back to Finucane, off his left, and I guarantee you that's gone over the bar. Yes, it is. Excellent score from Conor Finucane, and he's just playing like a man that I'd say he could have a shot from his own 65, and he probably thinks it's going to go over the bar because it's that kind of day for him.
He certainly looks like he can't miss today. He's in excellent form. 4 shots at goal, 7 points scored. And you know what I've noticed, that all Lissycasey's 13 points have come from play, which is very, very impressive shooting and a good spread of scorers as well. 6 different scorers. They've got scoring threats all over the field, and that's a very, very important thing to have in your arsenal.
Well, in his time, we know now that they've just more or less got to go for this, but they're being hounded. Sean Ruin is being hounded, and he needs somebody to help him out. And he did very well, it has to be said, to hold on to possession under absolutely savage pressure. Gave it to Josh Vaughan. Josh Vaughan popped it inside to Kieran McMahon. And maybe now, Brendan Ruin, if he breaks this tackle here and gets beyond Ryan Griffin, might be able to do something. Is it at the stage where, I was going to say, is it at the stage where Ennistymon need a goal? Probably a bit early for that. But they definitely would like to get the next score to get him back into it. And that's an excellent effort there from Derek Keneally, but it went wide eventually, and the referee says that there's a blood sub here for Ennistymon, and Derek Keneally is still on the ground, and he's going to have to get a bit of treatment, and the blood sub is the man who's coming off for momentarily is Sean Ruin.
Yeah, Derek Keneally, well worth a shot there. You know, a little bit unlucky. It just drifted at the last second, but it was a good effort. And you know, creating chances like that, they just need to keep the pace up. And when they attack like that, they are creating opportunities. They can't be afraid to shoot. They're showing a little bit more adventure than they had maybe in the first half. Not as over and back the field as they had been. There's a little bit more direct running. And when they create the opportunities, have a go and see can you close the gap.
Derek Keneally still on the ground. I'm not 100% sure. I'd say the physio is looking at his legs. I think it might be some kind of a leg injury. It doesn't look great. Lissycasey now making a substitution, and Keane Meany is coming in. And to have a player of his quality coming off the bench, I suppose it shows how strong Lissycasey are, not just their starting 15, but they have options on the bench as well. Yeah,
Keane Meany's a fine player and a real strong player as well. And, you know, he'd probably make most other teams in the county. So, look, he's been waiting for his opportunity, and I'm sure he's going to be dying to impress. Luke Griffin is down here on the sideline getting a bit of treatment, a little bit of a blood injury. So, hopefully he'll be okay because he's playing very, very well.
And Derek Keneally is still limping a bit, but he's okay. He's going to try to stay on the field as much for as long as he can. Dara Hill now under pressure from Gerard Barry, goes down the ball. Looked as if there might have been a push, but the referee didn't see it that way, and there's a bit of a battle going on over on the far side of the field. Conor Meany defending there as Ennistymon seek to win it back and maybe create an angle back as far as Brindley Ruin. He's going for the 2-pointer, gets behind it fairly well, but it didn't have the accuracy, and there's no doubt about it, Kieran, but if Ennistymon do bang over a 2-pointer in the next 4 or 5 minutes, that, you know, that bit of momentum, a 2-pointer can really bring that, can't it?
Yeah, that's the thing with these new rules. There's 5 points in it, but a 2-pointer changes everything. You know, you're suddenly right back in the game. And they're winning ball, they're creating chances, and if they can get a 2-pointer or even get another, just keep ticking away. They're still well in this game. You know, they've all the momentum with the last 5 minutes. It's just, can they get something on the scoreboard to show for it?
And Lissycasey lose that kick out, and Brindy Ruin has it now. So let's see what Joey Ruin can do wearing 2, but right out in the middle of the field. So if Ennistymon can get the next score, well then it could be. I mean, I'm not saying it's not game on as it is, but there is a bit of a question of a 5-point lead for Lissycasey. But Ennistymon now, can they make something happen from here with Sean Ruin? No, they can't. And Lissycasey emerge with the ball. That was Mikey O'Neill again, who's had a very, very good game. And the man who has it now is Michael Meany, but bit of a mix-up, breakdown in communication. Small bit of space here now for Garrod Barry. And he pops it back as far as Ennistymon's Keelan Guyler. And the shot from the far side. And that is a 2-pointer. That's a super, super score. And we were looking for the 2-pointer. Well, we weren't looking for it, but Ennistymon were, and they've got it. Excellent.
Yeah, it's rare for Ennistymon to kick 2-pointers, but look at they've come out with a different game plan in the second half. Now suddenly they're back in the game, back to 3 points, and it's definitely game on now.
That was a super, super 2-pointer, and it was put over the bar. We're nearly sure by Keelan Guyler, so hopefully we're giving the credit to the right Ennistymon man, because it was an excellent score, and they're right back in it now, and you can see the energy from Ennistymon, and maybe now a possible goal opportunity, but no. The ball through to Sean Ruin was just a small bit. There was a bit too much in the hand pass, and Lissycasey dealt with that. So it's a 3-point game. 10 minutes almost gone in the second half. Lissycasey now gone a small bit ragged, give it away, and should be a simple enough opportunity for maybe a point here. But are they going to go for the goal? Yes, they are, and it's deflected into the back of the net, and suddenly everything has changed here in Cusack Park. We said at half time that as things stood, Ennistymon were out of the championship, but now, Kieran, they're right back into this group.
Now we have a game on, and this is going to be really exciting now to see how this finishes. What's happened is Lissycasey had a 100% kick-out record all through the first half and the start of the second half. They've lost the last 3, and Ennistymon have suddenly got to grips at midfield. They've won the last 3 kick-outs. That was a fantastic move involving Keelan Ruin there. Spotted Josh Guyler coming across the square, hand pass, palmed into the net. Back game 110 to 13 points, and it's game on now, Peter.
It was a lovely finish from Guyler, and Ennistymon now, you can just see the difference, the confidence, they want the ball, they're winning all these Lissycasey kickouts, and when the momentum is going against you, Kieran, it's very hard to know what to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you get on top at midfield, and that's an area they had been struggling, suddenly they've got to grips with it now, and they own the ball at the moment.
And they've got another shot. It looks good. The umpires have the little nod. It's straight over the bar from Sean Ruin, and that's a super, super score.
Yeah, what a change around we have here now. You know, we definitely didn't see this coming at half-time. Ennistymon have come out, they've thrown caution to the wind. They've abandoned the game plan they had in the first half. They've gone far more attacking, far more direct. They've shown the quality of players that we've always known that they've had, and we've known that they're able to play quality football, and they're certainly shown it so far.
And Kieran, I'm going to put you under massive pressure now. As things stand, and assuming, and we'll check the latest score from Clare in a minute, but Shane Griffin has it now for Lissycasey. They need to hit back. Griffin, good run. Lissycasey, Finucane has it, gives it back as far as the centre forward, and Dara Culligan puts it over the bar off his left foot, and it's now level in Cusack Park. Ennistymon 111, Lissycasey 14 points. And any questions we had about Lissycasey, they showed a lot of ability, a lot of character. They're not going to panic.
No, they're certainly not going to panic. You know, they've got quality. They've faded out of the game for a little bit, but they've got the quality to come back into this game. There's certainly plenty of time left. Game is level, 17 minutes left. Anything can happen yet. You know, this is what you want in championship football. Games mean something. We're now in a knockout game, and this is it.
Oh, this is class. Ennistymon now with Sean Ruin just after kicking a great point. 2-pointer on. He's going to go for it, but it goes wide. So, the pressure I was going to put you on there about, I don't know how long ago, Kieran, as things stand, and we'll check the latest score from Clare in a minute, but assuming that Dunbeggar's still leading, what's the story with the group?
Okay, assuming Dunbeggar's still leading, that would put them on 3 points. As it stands here, the game is level. It would put Lissycasey on 4 points, and it would also put Ennistymon on 3 points. So that would mean that that Kilmehel would be in the relegation battle, and Ennistymon would finish second in the group because they have Doonbeg on the head-to-head.
So, and this is really what championship football is all about, isn't it? That Ennistymon could be in a relegation, or they could be second in the group straight into the quarterfinal.
Well, at half-time we had them in a relegation battle. Now they're second in the group and going straight through to a quarter-final. You know, things can change. I'm sure they're going to change again in the next 10 or 12 minutes as well. But that's where we are. We've got 2 games now that are going down to the wire. All 4 teams are in the mix to qualify for the quarter-final, and at least 3 of them are also in the mix to be in relegation. So this is what you want. This is Clare football and at its best.
This is good. Now, Mikey O'Neill has it. He was demanding it there. So Mikey looking around, soul on the ball, looking for a runner, finds a runner, no better man there than Shane Griffin. Griffin now trying to take on Ennistymon. Ennistymon don't give away the free. It looked possibly as if they might. Breaking forward now is Darragh Killeen. Great run from Killeen. Pops it, goal on, and good, excellent decision there from Diarmuid McMahon. Pops it over the bar, and okay, he could have gone for the goal, I suppose, Kieran, but it would have been a big psychological blow if he hadn't. If he went for it, he was at a fairly acute angle. Young player, but showed great intelligence there by popping it over the bar. They lead now by a point. Lissycasey.
Great maturity there from Diarmuid McMahon. It did open up. I presume the goal was on his mind, but they got a similar chance a while ago that Shane Griffin had, and it was saved by the goalkeeper. So he took the right option there, fisting the ball over the bar and putting them back into the lead. And
now it's Lissycasey's turn to start winning breaks and winning kickouts, Ennistymon kickouts, but Lissycasey eventually do give it away, and Brindy Ruin has it now. Ennistymon a point down, Lissycasey 15 points to 111 for Ennistymon. So let's see now, what can Ennistymon do? They really have rallied to the cause in the opening, as it is now 15 minutes of the second half, but the next 15 minutes will decide their championship future as regards 2025, and Ennistymon now have a decent chance to equalise, but it was a great block there from Matt O'Shea, and the shot was blocked down, and the shot was from Brian McNamara, I think, wearing number 8.
Yeah, great block down from Brian McNamara. 45 now for Ennistymon, an opportunity to try and maybe level things. Luke Griffin is back on the field for Lissycasey, resuming his place after a blood injury, and they'll be glad to get him back on the field because he's having a very, very good game. But Killeen Rowan looks like he's shaping up to hit this one, and he hit a fantastic free there in the first half. So this is an opportunity for them to level things up again and bring us down to a very exciting last 13 or 14 minutes.
And if you're wondering what's happening in Clare between Doonbeg and Kilmehel, it's now a 3-point game. Doonbeg 110, Kilmehel 2-4. I think Kilmehel have put away a penalty, so it's a 3-point game back there. So the 45 is going to be taken here by Killeen Ruin. I think is there a substitution being made here in front of us? And Darren McNamara is coming on for Ennistymon, or will come on after this 45. So let's see now what's going to happen here with Killeen Ruin. Can he pop this over for an equaliser? Gets behind it. Well, it was straight over the bar all the way, and we have to pay tribute to both teams. At times their shooting has been superb, both Lissycasey and Ennistymon.
Yeah, I mean, Killeen Rowan, if you were looking at the county team, he wouldn't be one of the players you'd be expecting to kick frees. But today he stepped up, he's hit 2 fantastic frees, and he's been a real leader from Ennistymon. He's been a big part of their attacking play, not just his defensive side of things as well. And look, Ennistymon are on top of the Lissycasey kick out, and they have all the momentum still.
Josh Vaughan on the far side of the field. That was an absolutely momentous catch. It was brilliant. There's 2 players down on the ground. I think they clashed accidentally. I didn't see exactly what happened, but it looks as if they probably did. The referee has blown the whistle, but Ennistymon have restarted with Brindy Ruin, and but the referee brings it back. He spotted a breach, and not 100% sure yet who the breach is against. I think it's Lissycasey, because he's walking towards their goal, and the breach is, I suppose, just concentration can go, and Lissycasey obviously had maybe only two attacking players in the attacking half of the field.
Yeah, and that's disappointing when you get caught for something like that, and every team probably should have someone on the line watching that. It happened in the previous game as well between Breckens and Milltown, and it's very costly. Lissycasey were coming out with the ball, and it's a real momentum changer when you give away a very, very soft scoreable free like that.
So Brindy Ruins dead straight in front of the goals, pops it over, and a few minutes ago Lissycasey had wrested back the lead. We're leading by a point, but now Ennistymon lead by 113 to 15 points, and we have just about 11 and a half minutes left here in Zimmer Biomed Park, Kisog, and it's a bit of a cliche, Kieran, but it's all to play for.
It is, but you can see that Killian Rowan has pushed up on all the Lissycasey kickouts. He's coming in behind the two midfielders and he's getting a break on it, and there's another score coming from that.
Absolutely brilliant 2-pointer there from Josh Vaughan. And Kieran, I have to give you a lot of credit. You mentioned him at the start about his ability to win ball in the middle of the field. He's banged over a 2-pointer now, and suddenly Ennistymon are leading by 3.
Yeah, the game has been turned on its head, but a very, very simple move from Ennistymon. All they've done is just push up on the kickouts. They've put huge pressure on it, but they've won the last 5 or 6 Lissycasey kickouts from Lissycasey having a 100% record, and here they go again.
And they've won this one as well. So let's see now what they're going to do here with Owen Rowan. Ennistymon have it with Ciarán McMahon. Ennistymon now definitely have, I suppose, using the breeze, because that breeze is reasonably significant. I don't want to be over-exaggerating its significance, but definitely we've seen from the 2-pointers it's a big help, and Ennistymon, as Kieran said, pushing up, taking on Lissycasey, and that's why they've overturned that half-time deficit, and now they were 5 points down at half-time. Now they lead by 3, and maybe it'll be more in a second, but no, that drifts wide there, that shot there from Keelan Geiler. So 10 minutes left. It's a 3-point game. Ennistymon 115, Lissycasey 15 points, and the latest kick out lands in the middle of the field, and Brindy Ruin just brings it down. And look, we're not going to be critical of the Lissycasey goalkeeper Thomas Collins. He's a top class goalkeeper, but I suppose Lissycasey need to go short with the odd one here and there, because they're losing all the long ones.
They are, but the options aren't there because Ennistymon have pushed up. There's no space.
Impossible.
They're making him go along, and they actually have an overload because Killian Rowan is coming in from the back. The 4 midfielders are going up for it. Killian's coming in from the back. If one of the midfielders doesn't get it, he's coming in getting a break, and they have all the momentum now on the kickouts. But you know what we've seen from Ennistymon in the second half? Players that you don't expect to shoot. You've seen Josh Vaughan get a score. Brindy's got a score. Josh Geiler's got a score, Killian's got a score as well. Now suddenly there's a spread of scores there for Ennistymon, which maybe they haven't had all along. Maybe they would be relying on Brindy and some frees from Killian and things like that. They've shown that they can do it, and they're playing excellent football, and this is what we've wanted to see from them. They've been the top underage team in the county for many, many years. We've known they've got huge amounts of talent, and it's great to see them showing it.
It is, and they really are showing it here. There was a bit of a hold up there, not 100% sure what was happening. Ciarán McMahon has now, for Ennistymon play, has resumed. It's back with Brindy Ruin. He's had a super brilliant game in the middle of the field, and let's see now, nice direct ball forward there from Keelan Geiler. Ennistymon now looking renewed and refreshed, back with Geiler. He shoots, and it's a 4-point game. Ennistymon 116, Lissycasey 15 points, and that latest score there from Keelan Geiler, and they just look like a different team. I know they have the breeze, so we do have to take that into account, but they look different.
Yeah, the breeze is a factor for sure, and but it's now they've basically thrown caution to the wind. They're now taking on the shots. They wouldn't have taken on those shots in previous rounds. They wouldn't have taken them on in the first half, but now they realised there was 30 minutes left in their championship season. If they wanted to stay in the championship, they had to go out and give a performance, and they're certainly giving it now.
And they've won the latest kick out. They have absolutely won the vast majority of Lissycasey's kickouts. Ennistymon have, and Ennistymon now switching the ball to the far side of the field. It was a high risk crossfield pass, but it has worked out all right for Ennistymon, and Sean Ruin has it. And Ennistymon know now that they can probably, they're not going to probably try to hold on to possession for the last 7 or 8 minutes, but they know that they don't have to take maybe any high risk passes here in terms of kicking the ball in from 40 or 50 yards to an inside forward. So let's see, can they create an opportunity to go even further ahead, because a 4-point lead is not with these new rules, you can't be absolutely certain that you're going to win a game if you start defending a 4-point lead. And Ennistymon have got into this position, as Kieran said, by attacking Lissycasey and taking on the game. So Brindy Ruin has it now. Lissycasey having to do a lot of chasing around. Ennistymon effectively holding onto the ball. Can they get a shot off? Yes, they can. And that is a brilliant score from Tiernan Hogan. And, you know, we were complimenting, and rightly so, Conor Finucane, for example. His 3 2-pointers in the first half and the 1-pointer he kicked over as well. Equal quality from Ennistymon and from an array of Ennistymon players.
Well, now we have 7 different scorers on the board for Ennistymon. We certainly wouldn't have seen that at the start of the game. And you were talking there a while ago about what way the group were standing. As it stands now, Ennistymon are top of the group.
Unbelievable. I mean, this is just, it's swayed over and back all afternoon. But Lissycasey are not going to throw the towel in yet. Of course they're not. They're going to try to maybe get the next score and wrestle back a bit of momentum themselves. They have it now with their centre forward, Dara Culligan. Culligan doing well to hold on to it. Culligan recycles as far as Dara Killeen. Killeen now gives it back to Mikey O'Neill. Mikey O'Neill has had a good game, but he needs to find someone. Not the greatest pass from Mikey, it has to be said, and Lissycasey will do well. Shane Griffin did very well to somehow hold that in and gives it back as far as Diarmuid McMahon. McMahon now has a bit of space, and from nothing, Lissycasey might create something. Conor Finucane has it. Finucane gives it back to McMahon. McMahon pops it, and the shot, great block. What a block. Lissycasey have it again, and it's in the back of the net. And what a finish from Darren Keane. And this game has absolutely everything, Kieran.
Yeah, this game is going all the way down. That was a fantastic move of patience. Like Shane Griffin won the ball. That Diarmuid McMahon was involved in it. Conor Finucane was involved in it. Aaron Griffin has moved position. He's come out of the full forward line. He's playing on the 40 now. But they showed great patience. A fantastic block by Kieran McMahon to prevent the first goal scoring opportunity. But, you know, he almost got the second one as well, but it's a fantastic momentum-changing score from Lissycasey, and they're not gone yet. You know, it's back now to 2 points.
This is an absolutely fabulous game, and Lissycasey win the kick-out. Matt O'Shea has it now. Niall Kelly helped him to win the kick-out. O'Shea breaking forward. Mikey O'Neill has it. Mikey's pass a couple of minutes ago wasn't the greatest one, but it actually, in a way, he'll hardly claim an assist for the goal. But Shane Griffin did brilliantly to keep that in, and that's what led to the goal. Ennistymon are claiming a breach. The referee isn't listening, and Lissycasey are bursting forward. It's in the back of the net from Conor Finucane. 1-7 from Finucane. What a goal.
A fantastic goal, but what I find very strange about that, a lot of the Ennistymon players stood up. As you said, they were claiming a breach, but you have to play to the whistle. You cannot stand up and expect the referee to stop the game. You can always call him and have a chat about it when the move stops, but you can't stand up and wait for
this
it.
Game
Lissycasey kept going. Fantastic goal, and now the Ennistymon are on the break, but that's a fantastic interception by Ryan Griffin.
Brilliant from Griffin. Mikey O'Neill has it again. Gives it back to Griffin. Griffin now taking on Josh Vaughan, trying to hold on to it, gives it to Niall Kelly. The experienced Lissycasey man has come in, and he's made a difference because he won a kick out, or he definitely contributed to winning a kick out there a couple of minutes ago as well. Into McMahon at full forward. McMahon does very, very well. Diarmuid McMahon holds on to it, gives it back as far as Aaron Griffin. Lissycasey's body language now, it's all confidence. They're right back. They've got another chance of a goal, and it's in the back of the net. And that's an absolutely brilliant finish. A brilliant finish there from Shane Griffin. And Kieran makes sense of this because I can't.
We've had just a crazy 90 seconds there. 2 goals for Lissycasey has turned the game on its head because Ennistymon looked to have all the momentum. They looked to be in total charge. With 5 minutes left, you would have put anything on them, seen out the game, especially the way they're able to keep possession. But Lissycasey showed the quality they have in their forwards, and they're after getting 2 fantastic goals. That goal by Shane Griffin was absolutely brilliant. He cut down the middle and sent the goalkeeper the wrong way and rolled it into the corner.
And Matt O'Shea rose into the sky there a few seconds ago. Won a brilliant kick out, but Ennistymon have overturned it, and Ennistymon no, they've got to go for this. 3-15 to 1-17, so it's a 4-point game, 24 points to 20, and Ennistymon, if they're going to stay in the championship, need to do something again. They've already got back into the game once, and they've won a free, the free one there by their number 9 Tiernan Hogan, and it's a 2-point game back in West Clare. Dumbeg 113 Kilmahill 2-8 and about 10 minutes left. So Dunbeg leading by 2. So I'd say it's fairly tense back there as well.
Yeah, and the 2 points is nothing, you know. One kick of the ball now, and that could be wiped out. So, all's not lost back there for Kilmahill yet. They've still got a chance, especially when you got a Kieran Downs on your side of the field, and they've also got the win with them. So they still have plenty of opportunity. Ennistymon need to do something now.
So Killian Ruin is going to take this free, and if he puts it over, it'll be a 2-pointer. And of course, as we said, it's a 4-point game. Lissycasey leading by 3:15 to 1:17. So this could be crucial. Gets behind it really brilliantly, and that is an exceptional 2-pointer from Killian Ruin. And now it's a 2-point game. Lissycasey leading by 2, 3:15 to 1:19. And if Ennistymon get a draw, Kieran, can you work out what that'll do for them?
If Ennistymon will get a draw, that will certainly put them through. Lissycasey would finish top of the group. Dunbeg are leading back in the other game, so they'd be on 3 points, and Ennistymon would be on 3 as well, but they'd have Dunbeg in the head-to-head, so they'd finish second in the group.
Josh Vaughan has it now. So Ennistymon, are they going to try and work 2 1-pointers, or will they try and work 1 2-pointer? Let's see what will happen. Let's see what will happen here now. We're almost up to 29 and a half minutes. So everything that happens in the next few seconds is going to be pivotal for the rest of the championship. And a shot from distance. And it's a 2-pointer. A brilliant 2-pointer from Killian Ruin. And Kieran, I know we're in the moment. Recency bias. But this is one of the best games I've seen in years.
This is absolutely fantastic. What a second half we've been treated to here. Killian Ruin with 2 2-pointers in the last minute to put the scores level and turn this group on its head. The momentum in this group has changed all day long. Teams have been in relegation, then they've been top of the group. It just keeps changing. Now, Killian Ruin, absolutely fantastic. He put over a free there that was as good as anyone who kick in the country to give him a 2-pointer, and then straight from about 50 yards out, fairly central, but a fantastic kick to get another 2-pointer and level the game. Absolutely fantastic stuff, Peter.
And fair play to both teams. They have just gone at it and they've attacked each other, and at one stage Lissycasey have momentum. Suddenly Ennistymon has it. Then it goes back to Lissycasey. Who knows what's going to happen? It's level and we're into injury time. Back in, and Ennistymon have an advantage. So there's a free shot on. Can they bang it over the bar? Yeah, it's gone wide, but the referee brings it back, and it's going to be a free from distance. And that shot there from Sean Ruin drifted just wide. Dunbeg have got a goal, so I think they're leading by 4 points back in Clare, leading Kilmahill by 4 points. And a chance here now for, it's not actually a chance, it's way out in the middle of the field. So Ennistymon, it's too far out to have a shot. So will Ennistymon know what's happening back in Clare, and will they say, let's just hold on?
I think they'll get the message on what they need to do, but at the end of the day, the scores are level. They're going to try and win the game. If they win the game, as it stands now, they actually top the group. So, who would have had that at half-time? We had them in a relegation battle at half-time. That's the way this group has turned out. It's been the best group of the 3 groups we've had in the championship. Killian Ruin is shaping up for this. He's going for it. This is about 60 yards out, but the way he's kicking today, you wouldn't bet against him.
I thought it was a small bit further back until I saw exactly where the ball was. So Killian Ruin steps up to this, gets behind it, it drops in, and it's picked up inside by Darren Keane. And now Lissycasey trying to come out with Mikey O'Neill. Mikey under a bit of pressure, holds on to it. Lissycasey tried to switch to play, bit dodgy, but Ryan Griffin knew that there was a man behind him, and advice from the sideline, Lissycasey sideline, is to go up the line. Niall Kelly does that. Kelly now holding on to it. Will Lissycasey play keep ball and be happy enough with the draw, or what will happen? They're switching the play. There's a bit of space here now on the stand side of the field. Darren Keane has it. It's level. 2 minutes and 20 seconds gone in injury time. Lissycasey might get one opportunity, possibly, Kieran, to win this game.
You know what? They don't need to. The word is coming in from the sideline. Keep ball, hold ball. Now they are going forward. They are looking to try and Aidan Maloney will be raging with that, a soft turnover like that. All they needed to do was see out the game, and they would top the group, but now they've been turned over.
Ennistymon lost it. They won it back. Brendan Ruin has it. Now can they go for the winner? There's 2 minutes and 45 seconds gone in injury time. Can Ennistymon maybe have one last chance of winning it? There's a lot of advice coming in from the sideline, and I'd say they're saying hold on to the ball.
Ennistymon, I think maybe they're not giving incorrect information. They're saying a draw is enough, but they could top the group and get seeded and avoid a rogue in the quarter-final if they were to win the game, but they're happy to go through.
It's all over. 3 minutes gone in injury time, and I just don't know what to say. What a game. Lissycasey 3:15, Ennistymon 1:21. An epic encounter, Kieran, and it was a pleasure to be here.
This is one of the best games of football I've seen in many years, Peter. It was absolutely fantastic. The second half was absolutely superb. The momentum changed so many times. There was a couple of times we thought Ennistymon have this game won, and Lissycasey showed their class. They came back and they got 2 goals in the space of a minute from Darren Keane and Shane Griffin. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It looked like then that Lissycasey had the game won. They went 3 or 4 points up, but Ennistymon came again. Cillian Ryan kicked 2 2-pointers to level the game, and the momentum changed a couple of times. Each team maybe got a point lead, and it came back. A fantastic display of attacking football from both teams, and a credit to both, and it's great to see that both of them are qualified and going through to the next round, and we'll get to see more of them as the Clare Championship progresses.
We haven't seen we haven't got confirmation of the final score yet from Clare. We'll have that in a sec, and just think about player of the match. I know it's a tough one.
To be honest with you, there was a couple of fantastic performances on both sides. If you were to look at Lissycasey, you'd have to have Conor Finucane in the mix. What did he score? He's kicked 1-7.
I think it was 1-7.
He'd definitely have to be in the mix. But based on his second half display alone, I would have to go with Cillian Ryan. I thought he was absolutely fantastic when he was needed most. He was excellent in the first half, driving through. But some of the scores he kicked in the second half, he kicked, what did he get? 3, 4, 7 points I think he kicked over the hour. 2 2-pointers at the end, vital scores to get the result for Ennistymon. So for me, the man of the match today had to be Cillian Ryan.
Yeah, he was brilliant. There were so many exceptional performances. Both teams went for it. In the past, Ennistymon have been criticised for being a bit too defensive. Not the case today.
When you got to half time today, they knew in the dressing room they were bottom of the group. They knew something had to change. They went out and they played football, and we've all known that they have this ability to play, and I hope that this is the way that they'll play football for the rest of the championship, because they're a super exciting team when they go out and try and attack and play that kind of football. Excellent stuff today. Josh Vaughan was excellent, Keelan Guyler was excellent, Tiernan Hogan, but Cillian Ryan, excellent stuff from him. Kieran McMahon did a very, very good marking job on Aaron Griffin today, the talisman from Lissycasey. Lissycasey had some superb performances themselves. As we said, Conor Finucane, Dermot McMahon was excellent, Derek Hulligan, Darren Keane, Shane Griffin. Great performances from both teams today. But it was a quality game of football, and it showed the importance of the new rules, getting on top in midfield. Lissycasey had their spell where they were fantastic under their own kickouts, and then they went under a little bit of pressure. Ennistymon took over that mantle at midfield, and it ebbed and flowed both sides. But two quality teams produced a fantastic second half of football, and 3:15 to 1:21. What a fantastic display of Clare football, and just a pleasure to be here.
And Kieran, just before we finish up, because I'm after blanking completely, and I know you went through it a couple of minutes ago. Just remind us again what the status of the group is, and we think Doonbeg are probably going to edge it back in Clare against Kilmehel.
Yeah, if it's finished back there as we think it is, that would leave Kilmehel on 2 points and bottom of the group and facing into relegation. Doonbeg would be on 3 points, and Lissycasey would be on 4 points, so they would top the group. Ennistymon would come second in the group on 3 points as well, but they would have Doonbeg on the head-to-head, and Doonbeg would be facing into that preliminary quarter-final. So, that's where it stands in the group. Lissycasey top, Ennistymon second, Doonbeg going into preliminary quarter-final, and Ennistymon or Kilmehel, unfortunately for them, facing into relegation. But, they won't be too disheartened. They've given 2 very good displays in their last 2 games as well.
Kieran, it's been an exhilarating afternoon, and thanks very much. I think we both need a rest after that.
Yeah, I think we could do with a cup of tea or maybe something a little bit stronger. But we've been treated to 2 very good games here in Cusack Park today. You know, a pleasure to see the first game as well. Milltown and Brecken's a very, very good game. But I think this one actually topped it, you know, for that second half display alone, because we certainly couldn't have seen it at half time. We thought Lissycasey were playing fantastic stuff, but Ennistymon, you know, they showed what they're made of in the second half, and you'd have to say fair play to them. 2 quality teams, as I said. Great to be a part of it, and, you know, delighted to witness it, Peter.
And it's 3 minutes left in Clare, and Doonbeg leading Kilmahel by 2 points. So it's not quite a done deal yet. We're going to take a break and we're going to look at some highlights. And hopefully in a few minutes we'll come back here to Cusack Park, to Zimmer Biomet Cusack Park, or Park Kisog I should say, for some post-match interviews. But first of all, some highlights.
Gerard Feeney Hearing Limited. Saffron and Bloom Medical Centre, Clare Abbey, Ennis, County Clare. Telephone 087 299 6749. Largest selection of digital hearing aids available. Appointment necessary. One of Ireland's oldest family-run pubs, Fanny O'Dee's, established 1790. Pub and Garden Cafe Bar, Lissycasey, County Clare. 065 683 4143. Serving a delicious summer menu in our spacious dining room and award-winning beer garden. Remember, it's unlucky to pass Fanny O'Dee's.
Deep. Josh Faulkner now, and a shot there from distance. Excellent shot. Inside. On his man. And it's a shot in. And that is. Yes, it is. And Doonbeg now leading Kilmahel by 3 points to 1. Lucan was looking for the ball. He's taken on Ennistymon. He's going to have a shot from an absolutely savage distance, straight off. So let's see now. Can Lissycasey find a space on the far side of the field to get the shot in? They do exactly that. Ennistymon is going to link up here with Lucan. He does. Lucan off his left on this occasion. My God, now for Diarmuid McMahon. McMahon gives it to Darren Keane. Keane taking on Ennistymon, bangs it over the bar, and studs something into the wrist. Actually, watch this super shot through the heart of the Lissycasey defence. Liam Cotter pops it, and the shot is taken eventually by Sean Ruin, and it's a super
taken over.
Derek Killeen pops it inside, back to Finucane off his left, and I guarantee you that's. And should be a simple enough opportunity for maybe a point here, but are they going to go for the goal? Yes, they are, and it's deflected.
No, they own the ball at the moment.
And another shot. It looks good. The umpires take back. Griffin, good run. Lissycasey. Finucane gives it back as far as the centre forward, and Dara Culligan puts it over. The breaking forward now is Dara Killeen. Great run from Killeen. Pops it. Goal on, and. Good, excellent decision there. Killeen Ruin. Kenny popped this over for an equaliser. Straight over there.
Momentum change.
Pops it over left here. It's a bit of a cliche, Kieran.
And there's another Killian who's pushed up on all the Lissycasey kickouts. He's coming in behind the two midfielders and he's getting a break on it. And there's another score coming.
Renewed, refreshed back with Guyler. He shoots, and it's a 4-point. Simon effectively holding onto the ball. A shot off. Yes, they can. McMahon pops it, and the shot. Great block. What a block. Lissycasey have it again. And it's in the back of the net. Oh, Ennistymon are claiming a breach. The referee isn't listening. And Lissycasey are bursting forward. It's in the back of the net. Lissycasey's body language now, it's all confidence. They're right back. They've got another chance of a goal. And it's in the back of the net. 17, so this could be crucial. Gets behind it. Next few seconds is going to. And welcome back to Keswick Park. Delighted to be joined by the player of the match, Killian Ruin. And Killian, what a game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, unbelievable, as you say. Both teams had purple patches. I suppose the breeze was quite strong, and we were relatively happy with how we did in the first half. We weren't happy we were 4 or 5 points down, but we knew that's a strong wind. And we were happy with the effort we put in. And then the second half came, obviously, and we got a good run of play there. I think we went 5 or 6 up. And then I'd say it was only 3 or 4 minutes they got 3 goals.
It was just such a turnaround. And
yeah, I know, but that's the resilience I think that we have as well. They came back, and fair play to them for coming back. But we I think in this time we thrive when our backs are against the wall, and our backs were put up against the wall there again. Our backs were against the wall coming into the game today, and especially there in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and we came out of it again.
I mean, what does that do for everyone like that? You know, to come out of a game like that with a result, finishing second in the group, getting out.
Yeah, well, I suppose like 2 weeks ago we had a loss that we weren't happy with, and we deserved to lose it the way we played and the way Kilmahill played. And in fairness to them, we deserved to lose it. But there's been a great reaction the last 2 weeks in training, and that was a reaction from a loss. But we have to react to this win now the same way we reacted to that. We've a month off now, and every training we'll have to be thinking about getting better. Like, it's not about just being happy, sitting back in our laurels now in a quarter final. We've fallen too many times at the quarter final stage. We're not idiots. Like, we know. We have to get better. Like, we have to get better.
Just talk to us about the 2-pointers. I mean, they were pivotal to getting the result. And in fairness, Conor Finucane in the first half put over 3 unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean, the one off the left.
I know, yeah. I said to his marker, Joey, like, you know, you did all you could there. They were unbelievable kicks. In fairness, Conor, he's around a long time. Like, we knew about him coming into the game. No matter how tight you get him there, he's going to put them over the bar. They were just unbelievable kicks. And my own 2-pointers, I suppose, I wouldn't be renowned for kicking 2-pointers, but the last 2 weeks, going to the pitch all my life with my brother and stuff, I'd have known, like, off the ground I have a big boot when I connect with it. And the last 2 weeks he wasn't putting him off versus Kilmahill, so I said I'll practice him for 2 weeks and put him over versus Lissycasey. So,
and I mean, that last one you put over, when the free was given initially, I thought it was a bit too far out to have a go.
No, that one actually did drop short.
Oh.
No, I thought it was going over myself, but no, it just dropped short, in fairness. You were right.
For once. So Killian, just finally, what a buzz, you know, to come out of here with a performance like that. When it looked as if it was gone for me at least twice, if not 3 times.
Yeah, well, even before the game today, our backs were against the wall. We needed a draw or a win today against Lissycasey, who are obviously like top contenders for the Jack Daly, like, and we needed a draw or a win. So our backs were against the wall 3 or 4 times today coming into the match. And thankfully we came out with it. I think we did well.
Killian, we really appreciate your time coming up at the end of the game to talk to us. Thanks indeed to our player of the match, Killian Ruin.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Okay, fair play. Sound. All the best.
Look.
We'll see you again.
You know if you won't get lost on or anything.
No, I won't.
Have you heard boots? Yeah, they're below. Oh, they're below, yeah. No, they're below. No, they're below. Player of the match, Killian Ruin, and Killian. To be joined by the player of the match, Killian Ruin, and Killian.